placed in the tomb of Arimathea, he accepts that. Dominic Crossan, who was a skeptic scholar, says that Jesus dying on a cross is the most well-attested historical fact in history. We know this from Paul's early source material, 1 Corinthians 15, which says, "Now I would remind you, brothers, of the Gospels I preached to you, which you received, in which you stand, and by which you are being saved, if you hold fast to the Lord I preached to you, unless you believe in vain. For I delivered to you as of first importance what I also received, that Christ died for out of sin in accordance with the Scriptures, that he was buried, that he was raised on the third day in accordance with the Scriptures, that he appeared to Cephas, then to the 12, then he appeared to more than 500 brothers at one time, most of whom are still alive, though some have fallen asleep. Then he appeared to James, then all the apostles. Last of all, as an untimely born, he appeared to me, for I am the least of the apostles." Now this text, written probably in the 50s, 58, round in early mid-50s AD, scholars will tell you is rich in tradition and goes back to an earlier tradition of AD 33, 34. Okay, so we know from that passage alone that we have early source, historical source material of the death and the burial of Jesus Christ. Okay. Also, we have the early church fathers, such as Clement, is another example of good historical source material, which is solid historical source material, and also extra source material that's not to the Bible, such as Josephus. Most scholars would agree that it has been tampered with, but his testimonium does tell us a kernel about Jesus' life. And then thirdly, Tacitus. A whole lot of Roman scholars will tell you that there's no dispute about that passage, about how it talks about Jesus. Alright, we could say that, well, where did Tacitus get his source material for that? Well, we could say that about a lot of historians. The fact of the matter is, Tacitus would not have written that unless he had some good source material to back it up. Okay, because that's how good a historian he was. So the basic facts are generally established, and also the basic fact that even Bart Ehrman will tell you that on the fourth point of Dan, Bart Ehrman, Dominic Crossan, E.P. Sanders, Gomez, we could go on and on, N.T. Wright, these are massive scholars, will tell you that the early church had visions of Jesus in the early first century. So the issue there is, what are those visions? Was it real? Was it a real resurrection, or was it an hallucination? The issue with psychological models is they don't fit the experience of the early church, because there were so many different sightings of Jesus at different periods, different places, in different contexts, to people, groups of people, individual, that no psychological model can answer all these various visions. So you can't answer